I found a second phone taped under my husband's desk. It wasn't locked. And the last message on the screen said, "She's starting to suspect. We need to move faster." I'm still shaking while writing this. For weeks, I thought my husband was cheating on me. I wish that was all it was. My name is Alina. I'm 32. I've been married to Samir for 6 years. We don't have kids yet. We were waiting for the right time. At least that's what he said. Samir was always calm, soft-spoken, organized. The type of man who planned grocery lists by category. The type who ironed his own shirts. Which is why the small changes stood out like cracks in glass. It started with the late nights. "I have extra work," he said casually, not even looking up from his laptop. "Again?" I asked. He smiled. "Promotion season." I wanted to believe him, I really did. But then came the shower habits. Samir used to throw himself on the couch after work. Suddenly, he started showering the moment he got home. Every single day, and not just showering. Scrubbing like he was washing something off. I joked once, "Who are you trying to impress?" He froze, just for a second. Then he laughed too loudly. "You, obviously." That was the first time my stomach dropped. The second clue came from his phone. Samir used to leave it everywhere. On the table, on the bed, in the kitchen. Now it was always face down. Always in his pocket, even in the bathroom. One night I woke up at 2 a.m. and he wasn't in bed. I walked quietly to the living room. He was sitting in the dark, phone glowing against his face. "Who are you talking to?" I asked. He jumped like I'd fired a gun. "Work," he said quickly. "At 2 a.m.? "It's urgent." I stared at him. He stared back, and for the first time in 6 years, I didn't recognize my husband. I didn't want to be the crazy wife. I didn't want to snoop. But the anxiety was eating me alive. So I checked our phone bill online. There was one number, repeated. Every day, dozens of calls. Late nights. My hands were shaking as I copied it. I called it from my office phone the next morning. A woman answered, soft voice. "Hello?" I hung up immediately. My heart was pounding so loud I thought my coworkers could hear it. That night I confronted him. "Who is she?" He blinked. "Who?" "The number you call every day." His jaw tightened. "It's a client." "Don't lie to me." Silence. Then he sighed. "You're overthinking." That hurt more than if he had yelled. Overthinking. That word makes you doubt your own sanity. For days I barely slept. I imagined everything. Him touching her. Laughing with her. Planning a future. I even drove past his office once. I hate admitting that. His car wasn't there. I called him immediately. "Where are you?" "At work," he said. "You're lying." "What is wrong with you?" he snapped. I had never heard him snap like that. I drove home feeling humiliated. Maybe I was losing my mind. Maybe I was destroying my own marriage. Then, 3 nights ago, everything changed. Samir was in the shower. His phone buzzed on the desk in the study. I didn't mean to look. But the screen lit up with a message preview. "We can't delay anymore. She deserves to know before it's too late." My heart stopped. Deserves to know what? Before what is too late? I grabbed the phone, locked, but then I noticed something strange. Under his desk, taped near the bottom shelf, was something black. I crouched down. It was another phone. Cheap old model. My hands were ice cold as I pulled it out. No lock screen, no password. Just messages, dozens of them. Between Samir and someone saved as R. The first message I read made my vision blur. R, the doctor confirmed it. Stage 3, stage 3. My brain refused to process it. Scrolling. Samir, how long? R. With treatment, maybe a year. Without, less. My heart was racing. What was this, cancer? Who had cancer? I kept reading. Samir, she can't know yet. She'll break, Was that me? R. You're her husband. She has the right to know. Samir, not until I fix everything. Not until I secure her future. Secure my future? My knees gave out and I sat on the floor, scrolling. And then I saw my own name. Samir, Alina depends on me. I need to transfer the apartment before the treatment starts. Transfer the apartment? Treatment? Suddenly the shower stopped. Water turned off. I quickly shoved the phone into my hoodie pocket and ran to the bedroom. My heart felt like it would explode. That night I pretended everything was normal. But I couldn't stop staring at him. Was he sick? Was he dying? Or was this some twisted lie? The next morning after he left, I called the hospital name mentioned in the messages. They confirmed. Yes, Samir had been coming for oncology appointments. Oncology cancer. My husband wasn't cheating. He was dying. And he didn't tell me. I don't remember driving home. I just remember sitting on the kitchen floor and crying so hard I couldn't breathe. Why wouldn't he tell me? Did he think I was weak? Did he think I couldn't handle it? That evening, when he walked in, I was waiting. I put the second phone on the table. His face drained of color. "Where did you find that?" he whispered. "Under your desk," I said. My voice was shaking. "Why didn't you tell me?" He didn't answer. Stage 3, I choked out. His shoulders collapsed. "I didn't want you to live in fear," he said quietly. "So you let me think you were cheating?" I shouted. He looked at me, tears in his eyes. "I thought you'd hate me less that way." That sentence broke something inside me. We sat there for hours. He told me everything. 6 months ago, he had stomach pain. Tests, biopsy, cancer. He didn't tell me because my mother had died from cancer 2 years ago. He said he couldn't watch me go through that again. "I wanted to fix everything first," he said. "Transfer the apartment, increase savings. Make sure you're okay." "You don't get to decide that alone," I cried. He reached for my hand. "I was trying to protect you." "You were lying to me." Silence, heavy, suffocating. "I'm scared," he finally admitted. That was the first honest thing he'd said in weeks. And I held him, even though I was angry, even though I felt betrayed, because I was more terrified of losing him than of any lie. For a moment, I thought that was the worst of it. I was wrong. 2 days later, I decided to contact R. Her real name was Rhea. She agreed to meet me at a cafe. When she walked in, she looked nervous. And pregnant, very pregnant. My stomach twisted. She saw my expression and quickly said, "It's not what you think." "I don't even know what to think anymore," I replied. She sat down. "I'm Samir's sister." I blinked. "What?" "She was adopted," Samir later confirmed. "We reconnected last year." My head was spinning, so he wasn't cheating. Rhea was helping him through treatment. But then she said something that made the air leave my lungs. "He made me promise not to tell you," she said softly. "But there's something else." I felt cold. "What else?" she swallowed. "The cancer spread." I confronted him that night. "Is it true?" I demanded. He didn't deny it. Stage 4. The word echoed in my head. Stage 4. He had hidden that too. "I didn't want to take away your hope," he said. I felt anger, grief, love, and helplessness all at once. "You don't get to choose what I can handle," I said quietly. He broke down, and so did I. We started treatment together. Chemotherapy, hospital visits, nights of vomiting and weakness. I shaved his head when the hair started falling. He tried to joke about it. I always wanted to see if I'd look good bald. "You look like a potato," I said, crying and laughing at the same time. But something inside me still felt unsettled. There were still messages on that phone. Financial ones, legal ones. I checked again, and then I saw it. A document draft, a will, leaving everything to me except one thing. A life insurance policy with a very large payout. And the beneficiary was not me. It was Rhea's unborn child. My heart dropped. I confronted him again. "Why isn't the insurance for me?" He looked exhausted. "Because you can take care of yourself," he said. "And she can't?" I snapped. "She's alone. Her husband left when she got pregnant." I felt betrayed again. "So you decided to play hero?" "I'm dying, Alina," he whispered. "Let me do one good thing." I didn't know whether to scream or collapse. Was I selfish for wanting everything? Was I cruel for thinking about money when he was sick? But it wasn't about money. It was about being chosen. We argued for hours. In the end, I said something terrible. "Maybe you should just focus on staying alive instead of planning your death." The moment it left my mouth, I regretted it. He looked shattered. "I'm trying," he said softly. The unexpected twist? The treatment worked. At least for now. The latest scans showed reduction. Not cured, but stable. The doctor even used the word remission possibility. For the first time in months, we felt hope. But hope changes people. He started talking about future plans again. And then one night he said something strange. "If I survive this, we need to talk about our marriage." My heart clenched. "What does that mean?" He hesitated. "I realized something. I didn't tell you because deep down, I didn't trust you to stay. That hurt more than everything. You thought I'd leave? I thought you deserved better." I stared at him. "You don't get to decide what I deserve. We're in therapy now. Because cancer wasn't the only disease in our marriage. Secrecy was, fear was. Control was. He's still undergoing treatment. The future is uncertain, but at least now we face it together. No more hidden phones. No more lies, just the truth, even when it hurts. Sometimes I think about that night I thought he was cheating. How quickly my mind created betrayal. How easily we assume the worst. The truth was worse, but also more human. If you're reading this and hiding something from someone you love because you think you're protecting them, you're not. You're just building a wall between you, and walls are harder to tear down than any illness. Sometimes the real betrayal isn't cheating, it's silence. Moral: love cannot survive where truth is hidden.